Aries. Aries symbol. Consider that judgment may be colored by wishful thinking today, dear Aries, making it best to focus on confidence-boosting activities. Try not to put too much faith in a routine or schedule until later in the day. Your attention span may not be great now. However, with the moon in your sign all day, you prefer to live in the moment. This transit pulls up emotions that demand some attention. You're sensitive and responsive now, and for the most part, the day's energies support your need for a bit more interactivity and stimulation. You may need to pay some attention to things you've overlooked or let go of, after which life seems far less complicated. Taurus. Taurus symbol. You are generally finding more joy or creating balance in your daily life and routines, dear Taurus. There can be some mixed signals to decipher nonetheless. Nervous energy can lead to a somewhat chaotic atmosphere in spots. You may be trying to take on too much at once. Keep things light, and keep your sense of humor. It may be best to slow down and stall decision-making until you're more precise about your priorities. It's a time for dealing with possible technical errors and for getting back on track in some manner. The moon spends the day in your solar house of hidden things, and you can be pretty content to keep things on the down low. Gemini. Gemini symbol. The day can feel a little scattered at times, dear Gemini, with the Venus-Jupiter transit stirring some restlessness. You're inclined to seek creative, physical, or otherwise tension-relieving outlets, and it's a good theme in your life. Today, however, watch for impractical choices. The moon spends the day in your social sector, encouraging socializing, connecting, and getting in touch with others. There could be a small letdown that points you in the direction of making some adjustments as your ruler, Mercury, forms a minor challenging aspect to Saturn. You may need more time to finish a task, or you need to draw upon more resources than you had first realized. Do whatever is necessary to get yourself back on track and avoid excess or pushing too hard today. Cancer. Cancer symbol. Making your home or base of operations more comfortable and harmonious can be a satisfying focus these days, dear Cancer, although today's energies are mildly distracting or scattered. The temptation might be to take on more than is comfortably possible. There is some inclination toward overindulgence. Unresolved matters from the past can resurface, allowing you to better understand where you are now. Mercury forms a minor challenging aspect to Saturn, and you may need to redo something you thought was finished or deal with a slight detour. Fortunately, delays encountered now are likely to lead to the tightening up of weak or problem areas in your life but could feel quite inconvenient at the moment. For best results now, focus on accomplishing your goals step by step and one at a time. Leo. The moon spends the day in your spirit sector, dear Leo, keeping your spirits high. You're enthusiastic about your pursuits and ideas, but watch for taking on so many things that you no longer enjoy yourself. You could be dealing with some frustration as a missing puzzle piece or a recurring problem stumps you. A Mercury-Saturn influence may feel a little inhibiting, but it can also alert you to the need to tidy up or attend to practical details, which can be beneficial. You crave something out of the ordinary now, but distractions, schedule changes, or lack of planning can interfere. Through minor problems, you might discover alternate ways to enjoy yourself. Virgo. The moon spends the day in your intimacy sector, dear Virgo, inclining you to take things to heart. You gravitate toward intensity in your activities, entertainment, or relationships. However, it may not be until later today that you feel ready to concentrate and focus. Energies can be a little scattered if you're entertaining too many ideas or pursuits. Enthusiasm is great, but if it leads you to overdo it, it can end up subtracting from your joy. Get all the facts before you jump into something. Chances run high that you may need to deal with minor problems or delays with a Mercury-Saturn aspect influencing the day. You may need to rethink a plan, or a situation leaves you stumped. Negative feedback may be part of this. Watch for a tendency to nitpick and worry. Libra. The moon spends the day in your solar 7th house, dear Libra, tuning you into others' perspectives. Someone special is inclined to appreciate your unusual and unique viewpoint. Nevertheless, a Venus-Jupiter aspect can point to a tendency to aim too high or to juggle too much. It may not be easy to direct yourself when you have too many options. In fact, you could find yourself spinning your wheels and not choosing anything. Beware of whims, since desires can come on suddenly, but they're likely to be fleeting. You may feel pulled or pushed into a busy pace of life when you'd prefer to relax, digest, and take in. Avoid taking criticisms to heart and instead decide what kind of improvements you can make going forward. Scorpio. Gaining some emotional space makes sense today, dear Scorpio, as you can feel confined if you don't have many options. Too many choices, on the other hand, can keep you in a state of indecision. Be especially conscious of being fair and using common sense, as there can be a tendency to overdo. Enjoy yourself, but keep things real and avoid going over the top. Helping you keep your feet on the ground is the moon in your sector of routines, work, health, and habits. This transit puts a practical spin on the day, and paying particular attention to the details of your life makes sense. You're inclined to pay more mind to what's out of place or not up to par, and you're ready to solve problems. A Mercury-Saturn aspect can introduce some challenges getting your message across clearly or can throw in some delays to deal with, but these can motivate you to make some handy adjustments. Repetitive patterns in communication tend to dominate now, but you can choose to break the cycle, at least on your end. Sagittarius. The moon spends the day in your sector of play, drama, and entertainment, dear Sagittarius. You're a little bolder with love, pleasure, enjoyment, and tastes. Changes in routine can figure strongly now, but it might have to do with restlessness. It's also a time when it's easier than usual to fall into the traps of procrastination. If you put too many options on the table now, you might end up spinning your wheels and going nowhere. Some insecurities can rise to the surface, or anxiety over a recent decision or a work matter figures strongly. While ambitions are strong right now, so are your needs for some emotional space and freedom. Capricorn. The moon spends the day in your home and family sector, dear Capricorn, and you continue to crave a gentle pace. Days to come will bring more energy for interaction, but today, you're more inclined to want to heal, replenish, and build your strength. However, restlessness can lead to poor choices, and the tendency to overdo is strong. It can be difficult knowing what you want from others, but as you worry less about it, life feels easier. While the day is helpful for identifying flaws and fixing them, there can be a few minor frustrations in the process. Consider making small, realizable goals until you get a clearer picture of the master plan. This way, you'll be actively building your confidence instead of waiting for life to happen to you. A learning experience is welcome now, as it's a time to set things straight or correct errors. Aquarius. The moon transits your solar third house all day, dear Aquarius, spotlighting your need for movement, progress, and mental stimulation. Interesting news can figure strongly. Energies now can stir up some restlessness or question marks in a relationship. Some misunderstandings or lack of definition can disrupt your interactions. You might enjoy the feeling of being busy but find it hard to know exactly what you want to do with yourself at times. Try to avoid coming across dispassionately in situations that would benefit from a more personal approach. As well, for your own sake, avoid overanalyzing social and relationship matters, as dissecting them can take away some of their magic. Pisces. There is a tendency to want to keep things simple and comfortable with the moon's stay in your resources sector all day, dear Pisces. If you're concerned about money or clashing with someone on a matter of principles, there can be some tension now, however. It's important to avoid allowing others' needs to so completely capture your attention that you put yours on hold. A Mercury-Saturn influence influencing the day is nitpicking. You may become aware of a flaw or something you missed that needs fixing, setting you back briefly. Even so, this can lead to valuable changes. Work and responsibilities tend to occupy your thoughts, which can distract you from attentive relating at times today. Still, you're in a fantastic position to cleverly and happily resolve a nagging problem.